I think what's happening.
Propaganda.
Okay, let's pick up where we left off on the last zonation. Have you ever read the original Democrat Party platform? The original included language to protect their so-called right to force people into slavery. But Republicans are the racists because the original Republican Party platform was to abolish slavery? And when liberals are reminded of this, they always say the same thing. Yeah, well, you know what, Zoe? That was a long time ago, and you need to get over it. Really? Okay, well, you know what? Slavery itself was a long time ago. Why don't y'all get over that? Oh, but that's how you liberals are. You're always able to use something as an excuse, like slavery. But that's okay. That's okay. Let's say you can actually use slavery as an excuse. To the Afrocentric, loyal Democrat voting liberals who insist and swear up and down that the black community is still profoundly affected by slavery, even though it happened a long time ago, why don't you still hold the Democrats responsible for trying to force institutionalized slavery? Yeah, you kind of got a funny taste in your mouth right about now, don't you? Yeah, I think it's the taste of them boots you loyal Democrats, Afrocentric liberals always accuse us conservatives of licking. I'm just guessing, because unlike you, as a conservative, I really don't know what these boots taste like. Y'all have been sucking boots so long that you're oblivious to the flavor. Kind of like chewing a piece of gum long after the flavor's gone. And then you accuse black conservatives of being the bootlickers. And we can be sure that these accusations will continue as the liberals accuse me of being a whore and being paid to say these things the GOP writes for me, even though none have yet to prove that anyone writes my scripts but me. White people write Obama scripts all the time though, and y'all don't seem too mad about him saying all the things that those white liberals want him to say. So anyway, slavery happened long ago. But you still want to use that as an excuse. Well, then be consistent. You should still hold the Democrats responsible for the KKK, Jim Crow, Dred Scott, revocation of civil rights, denial of 40 acres and a mule, segregation, anti-miscegenation, and eugenics. You know that was the Democrat Party. That's why you liberals try to use some lame excuse that the party switched sides, which is a lie anyway. And even that in itself is an admission because the Democrats had to be the racist party to begin with to be supposedly switched anyway. The Democrat agenda is still the same, to make us subjects of the state. But now they do this under the sugar-coated guise of fairness. And as a buddy of mine, Joe Dan, reminds us, Democrats talk more about fairness than freedom. Look at Joe put y'all back in chains, Biden. It just doesn't register with you that your party was the party that was fighting to keep chains on blacks in the first place, does it? Democrat positions don't amount to freedom. I know you liberals think that things like abortion equals freedom, but it's not exactly a lullaby of liberty for the child now, is it? So then we've got Toure, who tries to bring up names like Lee Atwater and starts backpedaling when S.E. Cupp puts in clear perspective how stupid he sounded.
Notice he says anger twice. He's really trying to use racial coding and access some really deep stereotypes about the angry black man. This is part of the playbook against Obama, the otherization. He's not like us. I know it's a heavy thing to say, I don't say it lightly, but this is niggerization. You are not one of us, and then you are like the scary black man who we've been trained to fear.
Joe Biden makes a racially charged comment, which you and many others on the left called divisive. Mitt Romney comes out, calls that comment divisive, but because he used the word angry, now his is the racially charged comment. Do you see how dishonest that is?
But I gotta ask, this playbook that Republicans have used for decades? Really? Okay, let's say you're right. Let's say you're absolutely right. Republicans use code words. Code words like, oh, I don't know, angry? Or code words like welfare? Oh my God, that's so evil compared to Democrats who have actually enslaved too many of the black community with welfare. And the Republicans have been trying to break the chains of welfare, just as Republicans fought to break the chains of slavery when the party was founded. But Republicans are evil with their code words. That's so evil compared to the actual angry Democrats who would bomb black churches, release dogs, and open up fire hoses on blacks and use clubs on them. Oh my God, but Republicans are so evil, they're using code words. That's so much more evil than Democrats lynching blacks and lynching white Republicans too for daring to stand for blacks. The liberal mindset is so twisted and warped and backward in perspective. It's no wonder why the Bible says, don't cast your pearls before swine. They'll drag you into Looneyville with them. You have to keep your engagement with them brief, only long enough to expose their hatred, projections, their bigotry, their sexism, their straight-up hypocrisy, and their lunacy. And let those who see the exchange see for themselves who the real perpetrators are. I'm Alfonzo Rachel with Zonation, and I'll remind y'all to get some ammo to fire back at this loony liberal rhetoric. Get the smart bomb. Grab a copy of my audiobook, Weapon of Mass Destruction, available at my website, alfonsorachel.com. And if you don't get your copy, I'm not going to accuse you of being a right-wing, Bible-thumping, sexist, homophobic racist, but I will say that you must have some sort of fetish for being called a right-wing, Bible-thumping, sexist, homophobic racist without knowing how to readily defend yourself.